Speaking of neat, we're gonna start off our match review segment for this evening. This match review comes to us from Fredbread, who has 5,262 hours, which is, or 68 hours, which is almost the exact same as me. I have 5.4 about. So, yeah, I feel, I don't know why you're asking me to review your matches, because you probably have about the same understanding of the game that I do. But since it's Xeno, you submitted 2, and I picked the Xeno one because that's something I, you know, as the number 4 Xenomorph indie world in terms of total tail tax, I can probably tell you more about. I probably actually do have some more expertise on. So this is the one I went with. So yeah, let's take a look at ya points and your add-ons. Okay, so you get RPD West Wing, which is the more survivor-sided of the 2, but RPD is generally killer-sided, period. It's generally killer-sided on both sides, mostly because of the freaking middle of the map is so easy to patrol. And honestly, indoor maps usually more benefit killer than they do survivor. Layout, what? Oh, layout, what? Number 3, no cafe? What is happening? Oh, number 3, no cafe? What? Huh? What are we talking about? What are we doing down here? Yeah, the doggo's cute. Yeah, the map, yeah. So it's like the middle of the map is very, very easily pressurable by killer, because essentially you can't cross from one side into the other without passing through this middle main hall, which makes it very easy for the killer to patrol and guard who goes into what section where. Yeah, we have a lot of Canadian viewers, really. A lot. Okay, in terms of your add-ons and your pikes, this add-on set, which is Kane's helmet, which is the mangled add-on, and the emergency helmet, which is the reduced stagger from turrets, is probably the most agreed upon as like the kind of like the sweatiest add-on combo you can bring on Xenomorph. I prefer Lambert Star Map and emergency helmet, because Lambert Star Map starts the flames from the turret 2 meters back from where they are, so you can stay in your power more often. But this is kind of mostly agreed upon as like the sweatiest add-on combo you can bring on the character, so like you're fine there. Your build is mostly good. It's not a bad build. It's just kind of a little on the weak side. Lethal is a fine perk on almost every character. Xenomorph, I feel like lethal is a little redundant. I know Umbra uses it. It's fine. Once again, it's not a bad choice, but it's just like if I was gonna throw anything out here, probably be lethal, because you can already go into the turret stations at the beginning of the match and then go find people using your underground footstep reading and your sound reading. So that's already something you kind of do naturally. So I'd probably swap out, if you was gonna swap out anything, probably lethal for something else like lethal or pain res pop. You know, you can do corrupt. You can do a lot of different options here. Did use an overmorph egg for a brown add-on? It's really, really good. For a brown add-on, shaving that much time off of your power recovery is like really good, really good. So it's a good choice. Okay. At the beginning of every Xenomorph map, you should be getting into a turret station, which you're doing, which is good. Good. Okay, good. Because that's how you get your power really quickly. Good job. The nod, I also nod to the song sometimes. I don't understand the choice to leave her there. Especially when okay, you're not leaving her. You look like you were gonna chase the other guy, which I would not have done. You should M1 that. If you're that close to a turret like that, you should M1 it. Because when you tail attack a turret, it counts as a missed tail attack, which enters you into a longer recovery. Whereas if you M1, it's just normal. So when you're this close to a turret, just M1 it. Okay, you're in Discord with your friends. Or that's you. Although I can't really hear you very well, so it's fine. Oh, you know, you sounded upset. What are you? I don't know what you're particularly upset about at this point, even. I don't know what you even did. You didn't do anything wrong or anything frustrating happened. Nice, good shot, good shot. Megon. Why is she French? I've heard of Megan, but who is Megon? I know you can barely hear them, but I'm not turning them up because their mic is actually super low in the recording too. So I'm not gonna worry about it. This is why I don't like indoor maps for Xenomorph, because like the turret station placements are usually pretty awkward and make it hard for you to kind of traverse around. Yeah, she stayed in main. Stayed in main. Do barbecues unneeded? Not necessarily. It barbecue keeps you on like on the right track of where people are. Because like there's something to be said for like knowing where to go without having to like use your base kit info to find people. Like for example, I think a perfect example would be like Pop having Pop on this build. If you add Pop, you hook somebody, barbecue shows you on someone on a gen far away, you know where to go deliver your Pop. You know, that'd be a good example of like where that would be helpful. That way you can like stop the gen progression. I do get what you're saying though, that it's like, you know, you do have base info on the character, so it's not as potent as like say another perk, but it's not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. Nice. You trapped, buddy. You actually hit the crates there, which is ridiculous that it has that big of a hitbox. Or hitbox, sorry. That was risky. He could have pallet dropped you there. He was greedy. You should have pallet dropped you there and you should have been in a bad spot, or in a bad way. John made for this. This is risky. Yeah, I would say, I know you have Agi, but like, that was risky to like, yeah, I was about to say. You should have taken the hit. You should have taken the hit and then, yeah, you did get greedy. You should have, taken the hit and then just took them. You're still 5 gens, so it's probably not going to cost you too much. Good macro awareness to know that he would hop back on the gen with you right there. He's a little laggy, that Gabe is. When you're in a situation like this, where you've slugged 2 people, the better option is always to go back and hook the first person that you downed, because of the possibility of unbreakable. Because like if you go hook this person, and Vittorio has unbreakable, he's going to be able to get up by the time you come back to him, which means that's a lost down. Whereas if like you pick up Vittorio, hook him quickly, come over here, you can probably beat Gabe's unbreakable if he had it. So just keep that in mind.
Interesting outfit.
Just keep that in mind. That is just a good habit to have. You know, feels odd. Good base info, base chase. A lot of normal port choices for other killers. Yeah, that's one of the things that I actually kind of like. I love almost everything about the Xenomorph, but I do find that like the build availability is a little lacking, because you know you have so many, like, because their kit is so like well-rounded. Their kit is so well-rounded that it's like it's kind of hard to find a build that works well with them. Enjoy your alert, Muda. Appreciate you. Yeah, exactly. Like the motion sensors on the turrets also shut down stealth perks, so no stealth perks, no M1 perks. At least not if you're playing well. You should always get rid of your turrets the moment you see them. Especially if you're not running double anti-turret. That was silly and greedy. Always get rid of your turrets. Always get rid of your turrets. At the moment you see them, get rid of them. Okay. You have, okay, so like you have 3 hooks at 4 gens. You're doing pretty good. I'm interested to see how this goes wrong. Hardest killer to play as? Billy. Billy has the highest skill cap, despite not being that good, which is kind of... Billy's incredibly difficult. Made him at one point. He's probably the character I was the best at before Xenomorph. I had a Billy era. Oh, you got the tail bug. That's funny.
Is my tail bugged? It is. It's much higher.
Yeah, the tail's bugged. That's okay. That happens. There's nothing wrong with it. Not like a gameplay affecting bug. It's just a visual bug. I remember Alrin found that out. Alrinican. And at first they were like, "Can I keep it that way?" Because they hated how much the tail hung down in the field of view. Like, can I bug that on purpose? I know, you're not playing too poorly, actually.
Why is Gabe killing himself on hook? Now it's like something I can tell around now. For free.
Yeah, which is what you Okay, so when you're in this situation, this is going to be a very Xenomorph specific thing. What you should do in this situation is when somebody drops like that, a little early. So usually, you go for the shot here because you just saw him enter a locked animation. You notice here he has regained control of his character. He pre-dropped the pallet like so early that he's no longer in a locked animation. So what you should do in this situation in the future, for Xenomorph specifically, is do a strafe, a click drag attack instead of just like aiming and guessing. You should do a strafe so you cover both sides of the pallet. Because essentially you guessed that he would dodge to the right and he'd end up dodging the other way instead. But if you had strafed, you'd done a strafe shot, move your attack left to right or right to left, probably right to left because of the way the pallet's oriented. Then you would have covered both options and hit him. So that's how you would get that hit in the future. I notice in general you're not really going for strafe shots, which is kind of an incredibly big part of this character. And probably could have, like, shortened your chases a little bit. Tunnel of the Survivors, like Gabe, like John made for this, who tried to give up on Hook and went second. He would be good. Up there. See, like that. See, that right there, if you had done that at the POW with the Vittorio would be dead, but down on a hook right now. That you did there. That was what you were supposed to do earlier, but you didn't. That would have got you that hit. Oh, you lost track of him. I don't know how he fell for that mind game. You're not undetectable or anything. You should have known you were right there. I don't know why he hesitated so much. Yeah, that wasn't really an instance of you playing well. It was kind of him playing poorly. It was interesting. Yeah, I don't know what Gabe's thing was. I'd say, in this situation, you heard Gabe injured, and you got 2 killer instincts. And when you come out of the tunnel, you end up committing to the healthy person instead of the injured person, which you can't afford to do at 1 gen. You can't afford to do that at 1 gen. You should have stuck to the injured person, which is Vittorio. Because a full health chase here is not what you need when multiple gens are at, like, half progress. You do dry kick, but, like, you're at 1 gen, so it's a little bit more prevalent to, like, want to regress these gens. That makes a little bit more sense to me. And you lured him out of hiding by doing that, so... Yeah, you should have been on him earlier, like the moment you came out of the tunnel. You can hit over this, and you should. You're not really going for arc shots either, I've noticed. You only go for, like, the safe horizontal shots. You're not going up and over objects. Which you definitely should be doing. Like, that chase would have ended quicker if you went up and over. Instead of, yeah, because see, now you have your pain res used, and now gens are regressing even more. Like, you should have done that the moment you came out of the tunnel. Well, now what's going to happen is Claire is going to come... Because you left Claire there, Claire's gonna go around and get Vittorio off hook. I would have challenged Claire there, like go after Claire, so that save wasn't free. Yeah. I like the thought there. I like the thought. You're getting kind of risky not dealing with these turrets again. Okay. Yeah, you need to strafe more. You kind of tried to there, but it was kind of like, I don't know if lazy is the word. It's kind of a lazy strafe. You kind of like partially did. What was that camera bug? Yeah. Sometimes you strafe and sometimes you just don't. And sometimes you try to do like these little straight, like you're kind of like inconsistent with that. And that's like, it's something you should be doing like ideally like almost every attempt. Besides like niche, you know, situations. So. Yeah, just easy peasy. Don't go for the M2. Just go ahead and hit the M1. You're stuck in a medium vault. She can't do much, so. You're lucky you ran into this when, Chucky? I'm doing match reviews right now, Reaper. I can't do that right now. Good to see you, though, bud. Reaper, did you get that, too? When Chucky came out, did a lot of people ask you if you were switching to Chucky off Pinhead? Is that something you also dealt with? Wow, that was good to swing around him there. You got time out. You gotta stop that. You gotta quit that. That is your spoilers. That is bad. You gotta stop doing that. You gotta stop doing that. You gotta deal with your turrets the moment you see them. This match would have ended so much easier if you would just stayed in your power more often. A few times, yes. I got it for like the whole first week that I was like, at any time I would play Killer on stream, I was playing Chucky because while he's the new character, people would be like, oh, you switching off Xenomorph? I'm like, what? UP100, the latest Killer? But that's because they're I love them. I love them. They are my main. Yeah, Chucky's fun, but I'm not gonna main him. Why are you not swinging at her? Yeah, why were you not swinging at her? You could have hit her like multiple times there, and you just kind of like hesitated. Weird. I don't know why you did that. Yeah, I agree, Vicky. In a 4-hour play session, like collective play session we had yesterday, we had 12. We had 12 Chuckies. It was wild. The Tiffany skin? I have it. Yeah, this was way closer than it needed to be. Yeah, you don't really go for arc shots where you go up and over objects. You only feel safe going for the horizontal shots. So, I would try to like a lot of these chases would end quicker if you did that. It's not even just his perks for me, Vicky. It's just like his whole kit is just like it's obnoxious to deal with, but like, you know, if it was only like once or twice, that'd probably be cool. But when it's like literally like 3 out of 4 games, 3 out of 4 matches, this is a Chucky match, it just grinds on my gears after a while, you know? It gets very annoying very quickly. I've done that before where I'll just like go to enter turn and it just like stutters and doesn't. Oh, you had lag, that's why. I've had that without lag. It should be pretty straightforward now. Not very complicated. Okay, so you're probably gonna get the 4K here. Yeah, you do. Oh. Alright. Yeah, nothing about their builds. Vittorio had Deli, but he didn't even get to use it. And nothing... They're pretty alright builds, but like nothing like cheesy and just... Alright, so, in terms of your main takeaways. I think I will start with your first takeaway being something that's more of like a general advice, kind of like a macro advice thing. I think there were a couple times in this match where you prioritize going after someone healthy over somebody injured. And an injured person is always going to be an easier chase than somebody who is full health. Because that, you know, chases in Dead by Daylight in their entirety are like, should be around 30 to 50 seconds. If it's more than a minute, you should be leaving. And that is, you know, both health states. So obviously, if you're going after an injured person, your chases will probably be, you know, half of that, like 15 to 30 seconds, which is way, way more time conservative, and match time is gen time. But there were a lot of times not a lot, but like there were times this match where you chose to go after healthy people over injured people. And I'm not quite sure why that is. That is just kind of like a very small like macro game thing that you should not be doing. So definitely prioritize injured survivors over healthy survivors. Getting into the latter half of this, a lot of this are that is true, Negan, but if we're talking about consistency, we're talking about, you know, consistently performing better in the game, like getting more W's across the board. Yeah, sometimes nice isn't the choice. A lot of this had to do with like specifically Xenomorph stuff. First off, for your second takeaway, big one, big giant red flag, something you should just stop doing, please, is please stop leaving turrets up. You should be taking care of turrets the moment you see them. You should be M1ing them, you should be tails attacking them, you should be getting rid of turrets the moment you see them. Because they are your main counterplay for the survivors. That is how they get you. And there was tons of times where you got knocked out of your power this match, and your chases just got really long because you kept getting constantly knocked out of your power. If anything, I think this is probably the main reason this match was really close. That's probably the number one reason, is because you just spent a lot of time outside your power because you just weren't dealing with turrets. So definitely be breaking those the moment you see them. And the third thing, which also is very Xenomorph specific, is, like I was saying, you seem only comfortable going for horizontal shots, which is something that Nemesis can do. But the thing that makes Xeno better than Nemesis, at least with their M2, is that they have vertical play. They can go up and over objects. You can go up and over objects like a projectile, up and over things. And so many there was like it doesn't seem like a big deal, but like there were so many chases you could have ended 3 to 4 seconds quicker, or like one less loop around the loop if you had just gone up and over, like the little guardrail, the little boxes. Like if you gone up and over it instead of just going for the safe horizontal shot, you could have ended the chase way quicker. But that time adds up after a while, right? Because like you may think, oh well, like 4 seconds isn't a long time, but when it's like half your chases, it starts getting up there. 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds, and match time is gen time. So that would make your chases with the Xenomorph more efficient. So I would challenge you, start going for vertical shots. Start going up and over things in the middle of loops. Yeah, that's it for that. Like, you did clutch it, but obviously work on the things that I told you about.